Welcome back to the Category of One podcast. We're excited. We have a very special guest today, a guy that I've connected with over the last little bit, and he has curated some of the best events we've ever done, helped me grow my business, and he's growing his own. And so it's been really cool. Mitch has played D1 football to the NFL, gone on some crazy trips where he has experienced everything from entrepreneurship to max flow state. And so I'm excited to have Mitch here today.
What a great intro. Sums it all up, dude. That's great.
So, Mitch, I'm excited to have you here because I feel like you've learned so much through all of your experiences where there's so much variety to your story, but it builds a state of wholeness. So where did it all begin for you? Like where did the journey of Mitch Matthews start?
Oh, whoa.
That's a big question.
Beaverton, Oregon.
Okay.
That's where I grew up. Actually, I deeply appreciate where I was raised. Some people don't. They didn't like where they were raised. They didn't like their circumstance. I was just very lucky. I loved where I was raised. Very diverse. Portland, Oregon's very weird. Very diverse, strange, unique, but also very creative. It's the birthplace of Nike, so it's fashion forward, which I like. It's a place with a ton of soul. So I loved growing up there. Coming to BYU, going from the most liberal place on earth to BYU, the most conservative place on earth, it was a little bit of a culture shock. I liked it for reasons why everyone loves Utah. I loved it. It was a great time. But it's very different. And then obviously we'll talk a lot more, but past that is just football until where we're at now. But Beaverton, Oregon is where this whole thing began. And I cherish where I grew up.
So what made you choose BYU out of all the schools?
I didn't have a lot of options. Being a tall, slower, at the time, white guy, not many teams, especially like the Ducks, U of O, like they're flat out like you don't look like you're 185, 6'6", like you don't look like an Oregon player, and you're white. And so I didn't have very many options, but I went to camp at UNLV. They offered me a scholarship. And then BYU told me they weren't going to offer me a scholarship. My brother already had a scholarship. He's my older brother. And he was a receiver tight end. And because I had the same last name as him, and I came to one of their camps, I think they were like, yeah, we got to offer this guy a scholarship, keep it in the family. So then I committed. So why BYU? I wanted to play with my brother.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you became an absolute BYU legend.
Thanks, bro.
Like, I still remember watching those games, especially the one where you caught that deep ball just right in the end zone.
Against who?
I can't. Who was
Utah State? Or the Hail Mary?
No, it wasn't against Utah State. The Hail Mary.
Oh,
I remember watching that with my friends, and we were all just freaking out. So, what's the story where you're like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what college, and then you pick BYU, and then you become this legend that moment lives on in BYU history forever.
Oh, dude, not a day goes by where I don't talk about it. It was 10 years ago. In 10 years, I don't think a single day has gone by where I haven't talked about it.
Really?
Like, even if I'm somehow out of the country, maybe we'll get that grace. But like, you'll see something on Twitter, something on Instagram, someone saying something, like a comment, whatever. Like, it just always comes up because, dude, people like, this is so sad and not good, but people like, they'll tell me all the time. They're like, I remember where I was, exactly where I was when you caught your Hail Mary, and I remember exactly where I was on 9/11. Those are the only two times. Like, you remember everything about the circumstance. It's not funny. It's like I'm not trying to be funny. It's just like, people tell me that all the time. That's what they say. Because like it was such a for BYU fans, for like the Cougars of all Cougars, like they remember where they were for that moment. It was a big deal. Whole family's around. Plus, the play had 1 second left on the clock. And it was like, it had become something where like, oh, a Hail Mary is about to happen. And everyone knew it. It wasn't like we were playing hurry up, and then someone just chucked it in the end zone. It wasn't like that. It became like this classic Hail Mary because there was 1 second left on the clock. And then we called timeout. And it was just a super, super long timeout. You know, the announcers are talking. It's a Hail Mary. Everyone's yelling at their house, wherever they're watching it in the world. Get downstairs. There's 1 second left. Like, it became that moment. It wasn't like it just happened. All of a sudden it was over. It became that thing where it was all the players were like, yeah, we know exactly what this moment is. We actually know the play. Before the coach even told us the play, we know the play. We practice it once a week. This is very true. Once a week for 4 years, I practiced this play. So we already knew. We didn't need to huddle up on the sidelines. We go to the sidelines, and the coach is like, well, you guys already know what the play is. And that's all he said. And so everyone knew, the people at home knew, the people in the stands knew, everyone's on their feet. We knew what the play was, and we're like, this has got to be it. We have 1 second left. We're for sure the better team. Like, we were kicking their ass all day. Taysom got hurt, and our whole season like just turned. We have a new quarterback, new offense, just like the whole thing changed. So they ended up scoring a couple times in a row. Nebraska did, and then getting up on us. So we were pissed because we're obviously the better team. But we got to go make something happen. And I've shared a million times about how, like, all the tiny little details. We can go into those if you want to of the catch. But 1 second left. God had to have been involved for sure because it was wild. But it was a classic Hail Mary, and it shaped my career and life.
Yeah. How did it shape you?
Definitely made me a more grateful person. It definitely made it like, dude, sometimes you get very lucky. Sometimes God, he has his hand in, your life, and it made me more grateful. It made me appreciate, it felt like a cherry on top to like all the hard work I'd put in. So I was just very grateful for that. But you're just going to talk about a great moment, and it's an honor to play at BYU and to be in a conversation with the greatest plays ever. I think it's number 1 or number 2. They have me at number 3, but whatever. Just kidding. But it's an amazing university that I love to represent. So it's fun to be able to represent it even after you're gone by continuing to talk about it and relive it.
So tell me more about it being the cherry on top to all the hard work you've put in. Because I feel like that's something that it's easy to miss, especially when you're having a hard time and you're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, what was that experience like for you? And then what changed after you had that moment, as far as, because a lot of times when you have that moment, it's like, oh, everything that I was doing actually meant something.
Yeah.
And then it builds like this confidence that helps it roll into everything else. So talk to me about that experience.
That's a great question. I have to first say, like, I worked just as hard as everyone else did on the team. We had an incredibly hardworking culture and hardworking team. The regime, I say, of Bronco Mendenhall was very dictatorial, and you're working hard whether you like it or not. But not everyone got that same moment that I got. That people that just worked just as hard as me, you know what I'm saying? Who didn't have the greatest experience, that worked just as hard and would work their whole life. I was just a lucky one that got to be the featured player for 2 years and had to have a moment like that, That play, I think, is the majority. There's a lot of luck involved too, but I don't want to say like I was the reason it happened, but it's a combination of, like, you have to be mentally prepared for the moment. And you have to, the game has to slow down in the moment. You cannot be frazzled. That specific moment, in some other moments that I can describe, your brain can't be like, oh my gosh, the ball's in the air, oh my gosh. It can't be that, or else you're not ready for the moment. You haven't rehearsed it in your mind for decades. And so when that moment came, like, the game slowed way down for me. Like, that's, if you know when when you're watching certain players, NFL, college, whatever, where you can pinpoint a person and say that the game has slowed down for him. You can just pinpoint it. The game was not slow for me as a sophomore. The game was super slow for me as a senior. And I feel like I could just have my way with anybody. And so the game had slowed down for that Hail Mary moment where I was able to just casually, run down. Why is that defensive back behind me? I don't know. Well, let me go down. There's 2 guys there. There's 7 guys in the end zone. There's 3 of us. 1 guy's in the back. Okay, here comes the ball. Okay, let's go. It's a little bit short. Damn it, Tanner, what are you doing? Like, you're able to have that moment because the game slowed down. And I think that's like a rite of passage. Like, from putting in the work, you're able to put yourself in opportunities to be lucky, if that makes sense. And so a lot of luck was involved. Are you kidding me? But also, like, those are the plays that I make. Like, I believe that I'm one of the best, at least top 2 playmaking receivers in BYU history. Just playmaking ability. Yeah. Like, balls in the air, go get that thing. I feel like me and Cody Hoffman are those guys. To have those moments, you have to work so hard so that you slow down the game so you can have special moments. So it's like what Jesse Itzler talks about. It's like, give yourself opportunities to get lucky. not just
Yeah.
sit around and just wait for luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was your question, dog, but
No, that's
I went
perfect.
there.
No, that's perfect because I think that's the magic of it, right? Is we all have these different paths and experiences and desires that we want to have those moments. And I think the difference between those who have them and those who don't are those who put themselves in a position where they can.
Yeah.
Because one thing I often think about is there's a big similarity between fear and faith. Okay? And what I believe the similarity is they're both made up. The only difference is faith has a plan. Fear is chaos. And where you're feeling that speed up is because you feel like you have to perform. There's a sense of having to prove yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling unfamiliar with the moment. And where you have that faith is, okay, I know the plan. I've done this. I can do this. And then all of a sudden the moment happens.
Yeah.
And that's where preparation meets luck, right?
Straight up.
Meets opportunity. And I think that's a beautiful thing that's very easy to overlook at that transformation that's happening.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine, like, after that moment, it transformed into where it's like, oh, I want that more.
Yeah. Straight up. Man, I can't even tell you how many times I laid in bed. And I hope people think of this as like what I'm about to say is like so real. They say on God, on God. This is so freaking real. This is one of those moments. This is not like a motivational piece. Like since I was like 5, dude, ever since I fell in love with football, 5, 6, 7, I have no idea. I just had on repeat. You're going to catch a game-winning catch. You're going to catch a game-winning catch. You lay in bed at night when you're 10, you're 12, you're 15. I'm going to catch a game-winning catch one day. And I would see these players in college football doing it, watching the Ducks play, watching whoever play, watching the national championships, and being like, that will be me, dude. That will be me. Whoever, like, that will be me. I will catch a game-winning catch one day. There was a play, this is like 2005. Look this up. An Alabama player caught a ball behind someone's back in the end zone. It's one of the best college football catches of all time.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, you will do that. Like, you will do that one day. Like, you will do that. That will be you one day. And so those two plays, catching a game winner and catching a ball behind someone's back, that was just like what I was obsessed with. Every night I would feel the feeling to where it would keep me up and I'd get the chills and I'm rehearsing this game winning catch for, me wearing green and yellow as a duck. Like that was who I was a fan of back when I was a kid at Oregon. And I would just rehearse them in my mind. And like, when you rehearse them in your mind so much, I don't know what order it all happens in, but I think life just like it presents you a couple chances to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because you've rehearsed it in your mind, it's not crazy when it happens, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And so in 2014, Christian Stewart was the quarterback, threw a ball, and I caught the ball behind somebody's back. It was against UNLV. And then, of course, the Hail Mary was the game-winning catch. But there's a ton of luck involved, man. But I think, like you said, if you want it bad enough, you'll obsess over it.
Yeah.
So obviously always find places of passion. Like passion drives so much, like it just does. Like passionate people can get people 10 times as smart as them to move and act and get what they want them to do by just sheer passion. Passion fires people up. Passion is like what makes movies sell. You know what I mean? And so I was just so fired up on like, I'm going to be that guy one day. I'm going to be that guy. And I think by just talking to myself for decades, dude, since I was a little kid, talking to myself all the time, I think it like prepared my body, prepared my mind, prepared situations to be like, hey, you've been wanting this for so long. Let's give you a shot at this. And whether that's God doing that or just life, I have no idea. Yeah. But just rehearsing it in my mind all the time, dude. That I think that's what gives you a chance,
Yeah, it gives you at least the opportunity and chance that this
could
happen.
Does,
Yeah. It's better that it at least has a plan, right? Some direction to it.
Yeah.
So, after that moment, obviously, you went to the NFL, and then you had some awesome experiences along the way. What took you to Poland?
Mm-hmm.
I may be jumping around there,
That's
but
fine, dude. That's so fine.
What took you to Poland from having this passion for football and then completely going on to a different spectrum, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, man. So after football was over, my mom had recently passed away and I was just recently married. Leaving football, like just being done with football. Wasn't sure if I was going to get called back. Do I keep playing? I have this injured ankle. And it was time just to move on to the next chapter. And that freaking hurt, dude. That hurt really bad. Because that was my whole identity. You know what I mean? It was everything. I was super, super angry. Because I'm like, no, this is too soon. I should be still playing, whatever, whatever. My mom had recently passed away, and I was very angry from that too. So I have my career and my mom like recently gone. I was super angry, but also super high ego too. You know what I mean? Just felt like I was above everything and everybody. So stupid. And that was a bad combo, especially because I'm a really infectious person. Like if I'm in a bad mood, the whole fucking block is in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, if I'm not in a good mood, the whole house is in a good mood. If I'm not in a good mood, the whole neighborhood's in a bad mood, you know? But when I'm in a good mood, like I can fire people up in that way too.
Yeah.
So like an ego-filled, anger-filled Mitch, just not it, dude. Just not it. I didn't like it. Wasn't happy. And I listened to a podcast that my wife, because she knew that I was going through something, she made me listen to. Is by Lewis House, School of Greatness. You know Lewis House. He was describing like his journey, same injury to the same ankle, lost a parent at a younger age, similar outlook on life, but like chronologically, like the same thing that I went through. And I remember feeling like there's no way that someone else has gone through what I'd just gone through. It was nuts. In one way, I'll just tell you what it was though. In 1 week, it was my mom's funeral on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4 days later was my wedding. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I had a training camp with Minnesota Vikings. That's in an 8-day span. Super angry from that. And of course, a few months, maybe 6 months later, I was done playing. But that's what had happened. I was super angry. And his story, Lewis's story, was very similar. So I thought, I got to reach out to this guy, and I just got to meet a friend, meet a homie who's gone through something similar, just for advice, whatever. So I went down to LA. We hung out, threw the football around, did a little workout together. It was really fun. And what was supposed to be like a 30-minute hangout ended up being like 4 hours. And it was on that trip where my wife, Maddie, asked him, so what's been one of your most favorite podcasts? And he goes, number one was Kobe Bryant, which was cool because he was alive at the time. And he goes, the second favorite podcast was this guy named Wim Hof. And he's like, Lewis is like, he's the most crazy dude. He's the Iceman. He's broken all these world records in sub-zero temps. Like he's a freak of nature, literally. And Lewis is like, I'm actually going out to do a 10-day trip at his house in Poland. Do you want to come? And he invited me to go. And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to go. I've done cold baths before for football, whatever. You know, I've never done the breath, the meditation, whatever. I'm like, I'm in, let's go. He's like, you're in. So he put together a really cool group because at this time, this is 2020, Wim Hof and cold bathing wasn't cool yet. Like it was not normal like it is now. And so Wim invited Lewis and said, Lewis, bring like 10 of your most influential buddies to come out to Poland with me. I want to get this cold bathing message out faster. I want to speed it up. And so we shipped out to Poland, 10 of us. Every one of us knew Lewis, but none of us knew each other. Yeah. So Aubrey Marcus, Jesse Itzler, Mike Posner, really cool dudes, Super Bowl champion, Steve Weatherford. Like, just some really rad dudes were there. And we all like shook each other's hands in the airport when we got there. Like we just meeting each other. But from the second we got there, dude, Wim just like took over as our guru for 10 days. So every day we woke up super early, and it was a breathwork session first thing in the morning every day on an empty stomach. Right after that was a sound bath, straight down to Chef Camus' food. She cooks this really extravagant gourmet vegan food. And we go straight after that, do cold plunge for 10 minutes up to our necks. We do another sound bath, another breath. He'd have us like do these passing out activities. Just all like, we're just living like Wim Hof for 10 days. And it was super transformative, dude. Super transformative. And by the way, this Wim Hof guy is a nut job. Like in the best way, dude. Like he doesn't have like conversations like get to know ya, small talk. He doesn't do small talk. Like if you're talking to Wim Hof, he's got a finger in your face and he's like, you and me, change the world now, right now. Like that's all you talk about. You don't talk like, he doesn't ask like, how's your family? You have any kids? Like there is no dialogue like that with Wim. Yeah. He's just about changing the world, dude. That's it. Like the first conversation him and I had, his finger was this far in front of my face for like 5 minutes. I have a picture of it. Like he's just like, he's up in your grill, dude. He's a true guru, true specimen. He defines mind over matter, and he's authentic, dude. He's authentic. Super cool, dude. Anyways, the crowning event of this trip was this half naked hike to the top of this mountain, where he said, you're going to show up at the bottom of this mountain just wearing boots and shorts, no shirt. You can wear gloves, but I'll see you at the bottom of the mountain. And it was a 4-hour hike to the top of this mountain. At the top, it was like negative 20 degrees. And you're just with Wim, and like, he's so supernatural. That's like the only way to describe this guy. He's so supernatural that you're like, he's shedding off on you. Like you're getting a little bit, I'm not joking, you're getting a little bit of that where like, you're at the bottom of this mountain, it's about to be 4 hours, it's freezing cold. And usually you think, you know, when you take the garbages to the curb in Utah, you're going to die, dude, in the winter. You know what I mean? It's freezing cold. But this time you're like, no, I got this. And through the breath and just like the stable mind and the mind exercises that he's teaching you just feel like you're superhuman, you know? And sure enough, made it to the top. It was freezing cold and so much fun. The whole thing was just so much fun. So unique.
Yeah, that's
so
wild.
Unique. But that was it, man. 10 days of that. Rinse and repeat every day.
That's awesome. That sounds like an amazing experience. And you can just see it. I mean, if you watch Wim Hof's content, I mean, you can just see exactly what you're talking about, the whole story of it. So tell me more about the transformation that took place, because obviously that's a really hard situation where, you know, the passing of your mom, getting married. I mean, that's like a low to a high to a low, losing your identity. I mean, I work with athletes all the time where they come to me and they're like, Brock, you know, I don't know who I am without the sport. Yeah. And rebuilding that is tough.
Yeah. So what would you want to know more of? Like, what was the experience like, or what?
Yeah. So when you were there, what seemed to make sense to you and the transformation that you're like, wow, like I'll be forever different because of this?
Yeah. Dude, I just, you know, when you look back sometimes, you're like, man, I went through a lot at this stage. And you're like, if that happened to me now, I might break. But I don't know what it was, but back then, like, the only reason I had gotten to the NFL was like through self-talk. Like I just told myself, you're that guy, you're that guy, you're that guy, you're that guy all the time. You got this, you got this, you got this. So like the internal dialogue was there. And so when I'm playing in the NFL, and I'm on the Minnesota Vikings, and I knew my mom was going to pass away, and there was like a month window where like it was declining really, really fast. And the self-talk was there. So to get through this obstacle, my mom passing away, it's like, you got this, keep your head up. You got this, you got this, you got this. And my mom was an amazing cheerleader before she passed away. Like she just instilled so much into our brains. But like that's how I stayed afloat, was that. Just like self-talk. That's all that really kept me there. But I also had to, because I was also trying to perform with the best athletes in the world. The best athletes in the world are on my team. And I gotta perform against them, with them. And so I couldn't have just taken a month off. You know, I remember the GM for the Minnesota Vikings, he knew my mom was super sick. And I'm like, I called him and I'm like, hey man, mom's passing away. Like I have a 3-day mini camp, go home, see her, 3-day mini camp, go home, see her. But I'm like, hey, she's declining really fast. Like we're like kind of pre-planning the funeral kind of. And, I was like, hey, I'm also getting married, or we're like trying to plan this thing out where it's like a 2-for-1. He's like, okay, you can get a week off for your funeral, and your wedding, but that means married on Wednesday, you get Thursday, Friday honeymoon, fly back on Saturday. I need you back on Sunday. It was one of those, dude. We're like, you have no choice. You know what I mean? And at the time that was my normal. So it wasn't like I was like acting like a hero. Like that was just normal. That was just normal life. Maddie's playing soccer at BYU. She's in finals. She's in school. Like we're all doing our thing. Like we had no choice. We didn't choose this, but we're just going through it, you know? But there was so much strength that came from that, dude, because like, I had mourned my mom since she had terminal cancer. Like I was mourning her every day, you know? And the month where it was a really big decline for her, I was mourning her every single day. I was with her every single day unless I was in Minnesota playing football. But the people that flew into town, dude, to do the 2-for-1, to watch the funeral, attend that, and then also see the wedding. Because I'm from Oregon. People from Oregon came out. It was one of those situations, but the people that came were having almost like a way harder time than me, because it was their first time, like, experiencing it. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, the funeral, he's getting married through all this. I'm like, dude, we've been planning this like 2-for-1 for like the last 6 weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was still very hard. It still sucked not to be able to dance with your mom. You know, and traditionally at the end of the wedding, like that was still hard, but like we've already been suffering this. So I felt like I was like the cheerleader for everyone that came into town. So that practice, like that on top of it, was just like, you know what? Now, not for life, but pretty much for life, I have this like rock of a trial, and I have that now to always be like a shining lighthouse for me to say, like, dude, if you went through that, this is nothing, bro. This is nothing, dude. Remember how you got through this? Like, whatever voice is talking to me right now. Mitch, remember how you got through this? Like, it was through self-talk. Kick that in. Let's go. We got to kick it up. We got to go. We have some big goals right now. We got to kick that self-talk up. That's just this, like, rock, lighthouse, whatever you want to call it, that'll always be there to, like, remind me, like, what really hard actually is, you know? And there's good days and bad days now, but that moment was just transformative in that way. Like I feel like I have this unquenchable confidence, this unquenchable, like what's cemented in is that self-talk. It's just there. It's now a part of me, like an arm and a leg. Like self-talk is there. And that whole moment just defined that. Man, that was probably a long-winded answer to your question, but I think I answered it shotgun. You know?
I mean, it speaks volumes, because I think when you're in that, like, that grind, right? And you're sitting there and you're saying, look, I don't know what I'm doing, right? I don't know who I am at this moment, and I'm just trying to figure this out, navigate this whole situation. It would be so easy to just have every excuse in the world to be like, well, maybe the NFL is not for me.
Yeah.
Maybe this just isn't it. But where you have that practice and that self-talk to just keep you in the game long enough.
Keep you in the game.
And then all of a sudden you end up in Poland with Wim Hof, and you do the breath work and the cold plunge, and you just feel, right, that moment of alive.
Yeah, dude. And I think I needed it. I think I needed that shift. But I definitely, after that trip, I was like, wait a minute. You, just like with your mom and football, you just get to pick. You get to pick the option of, do I take this as like the excuse card? And I can always play that excuse card when you go through something like that. By the way, everyone has an excuse card. Like my mom, like the one that can really play, and everyone will be like, oh, you're right. Like, you should quit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you have the choice to be like, well, what if I don't quit? What if I double down? What if I get some alignment going? What if that is a catalyst that I can alchemize and go even further with?
Yeah.
And that's the option I chose, you know?
That's so funny. I've never heard it materialize like that, where you have an excuse card, that one that everyone will believe and no one will give you any pushback.
They'll take it. Yeah, they'll take it.
Well, so my junior year of football, okay, I couldn't play my senior year because I had 10 plus concussions.
Damn.
And it was super tough.
Why does that make sense though, dude? I feel like you're just a hammerhead on the football field. I would just guess that. You were just a sniping safety.
Oh, dude. I mean, they put me on kickoff, man, and I would just head first right into
you're just fearless, bro. That's like, that doesn't surprise me because you're so fearless.
And so, yeah, I couldn't play. I show up to practice, and my coach is like, bro, go home.
That's crazy. That doesn't surprise me at all, bro.
Because the doctor told him. But anyways, I couldn't play, and the doctor kind of took me out. And after that, I kind of realized, like, injury is a good enough excuse to be able to quit when something gets hard. Now, I'm on this marathon in January. And so I ran the Kodiak 100. That story where I got fluid in my lungs, couldn't breathe, mile 30, got taken off the course.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was nervous about that. I was so nervous that this was going to affect me and take me out of the game. And so I started running. I had this marathon in February at Surf City, and my plan was to go sub 245. Okay. And it was something I'd never done. It was a flat course. In fact, it had more hills than it did anything else. And it was tough. And I start off in the first 9 miles, my body was like, oh, my ribs hurt, my breath's high again, I'm cramping up, I'm not going to be able to finish this thing.
Damn.
And I was just like panicking, and I'm like, oh, well, if I got an injury, if it's happening again, I got taken off that one, I can just get taken off this one. And everyone would accept it.
Straight up, yeah.
Right? But my self-talk in that moment, I knew what it was. I was like, okay, this isn't a physical injury. This is an emotional injury. And I'm not fully aligned with what I'm doing. And so I went in, had that self-talk into talking to myself, found the alignment, and I was like, Brock, like, I love you. And if you want to panic right now, and if we want to be injured, then that's okay. I'll ride that wave. If we want to be injured, that's fine. But we've worked too long and too hard, and we're more than capable of finishing this. We're more than capable of running at this pace.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, my body let go. I didn't hurt anymore. I wasn't cramping. Everything calmed down.
That's wild how that can happen.
And it happened in seconds. And it was because I just found alignment with what I was doing. And so I imagine when that moment, it was like, oh, okay, I am more than capable of handling this.
Yeah. That's a cool story, dude. Yeah, that's crazy how your body a lot of times will react based on your emotions and based on this is factual. I'm not saying it, like your body will react in large part to how regulated your emotions are and how regulated your mind is.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are super confident, you'll jump higher. You just will. I'm talking about for my position as a receiver. If you're super confident in yourself, your muscles will be more fast twitch. Like they just will. And that's what it takes to win. Like it just, your body can say, okay, you know what? If you're telling yourself, Mitch, this is like me talking to me again. If you're telling yourself, Mitch, that you are fast every day for years, and that's what I did. You're the fastest player on the team. You're the fastest player on the team. If you tell yourself you're healthy, like your body just will adapt and morph into that person, a healthier, more structurally aligned, physically person that has faster twitch muscles because you've been telling yourself that you are that. You know what I'm saying? Now, most people go right to like, well, I'm 5'9". Can I just tell myself I'm 6'6" and I can just get there? It's like, maybe it doesn't work like that. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. But like soft tissue for sure. Like can like adapt like quicker for sure. I don't know if it's going to give you 9 inches, in your height. I have no idea. But like to relax enough to finish a race, dude, that's a huge physical difference. Like you went from tense, I'm going to quit to like, and your body's like, no, you got this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're good. And you can go longer because you just said one sentence mentally. It's crazy cool, but it shouldn't be a phenomenon to people anymore. Like that should just be like what we believe now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would believe it though, unless I had tested it enough times. But now I know, like you now know when you race and times get hard, you go right back to that lighthouse right there. Like when it gets hard now, it's like, I know where to go. I know I go right back to my mind, check in, make sure it's elite.
Yeah.
And once it is, then we can go.
So one thing I'm noticing throughout this whole podcast, okay, and this for me is a question I have all the time. How did you have such high standards for yourself from the beginning?
My mom.
Okay. Because one thing that I think it's hard as an entrepreneur, right? You hear that podcast from Flow Haus and you're like, oh man, he really understands what I'm going through. Who reaches out to Flow Haus and says, hey, let me come throw a football with you? And then it puts you in the room to where you're going to go to Poland, hang out with those guys, then ask those guys to partner with you. If you guys don't know, like Mitch owns Flow Haus, which is there in Pleasant Grove. It's an amazing place. And we're going to talk about that. But like to have just that standard from the beginning, like, okay, I am going to go to this school. I'm going to start. I'm going to be the fastest on the team. Like I'm going to reach out to Flow Haus, who's this, Flow Haus is a big guy. And it's not like, oh, I'm just going to stay local, find someone around here who could help me. It's like, no, I'm going to the guy that I heard that helped me.
Yeah.
Like, how did you have the standards for yourself all along the way to know like, oh, that's just where I belong?
My mom, for sure. She was my inner voice, dude. The way that she talked to me, through me, was just elite. Like if you knew my mom, you knew that she was an elite person. To a degree I've never seen yet still. Like the way that people like adored and looked up to my mom as just like a magnificent, positive, talented person. She just did a really good job at like speaking that to me at a very young age. And when that happens, you establish your worth, and you will always get whatever you think you're worth, you know?
Yeah.
So like from a very young age, the things that she would say to me, the way she would introduce me to her friends, the way that she would talk to me, like was just self-worth establishing over and over and over. You're smart, you're funny, you're cool, you're confident, you're calm, you're elite. Like the things that she would say to me since I was very, 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 very young. That just became my internal dialogue. So then once that happens, once your internal dialogue is at an elite level, not someone that tries like mantras for a week, not that. I'm talking like your internal dialogue, even some subconscious work, like making sure that like whatever's being fed to you by yourself is elite. I feel like I had established my worth. And my worth wasn't going to take anything less than like being the number one guy at BYU, you know? And if it wasn't going my way, then like, I'm going to scratch and claw and do whatever it takes to be that guy. Cause my worth is like, no, I'm a starter. Like I go to the NFL. Like that's where my worth is at. And I'm already that before it's happened. And then things start to fall in place for you that way. Same thing with like Lewis House. It's like, well, he's not above me in any way.
Yeah.
Like maybe he's a little older and had more successes, but human to human, like strip everything away. He's nothing above me. So why would I be scared to reach out? Like, what, do I assume my worth is like lower than his? And it's like, maybe when I accomplish some things and then I'll get the confidence to reach out to him. He's like, dude looks just like me. Like he's just like, he's a little older. Yeah. He's had a ton more wins like professionally, but what the hell does that matter? Like, I do not care. Like same thing with like asking Jesse Itzler to be a business partner. It's just like, yeah, their family's worth like billions of dollars, gazillion dollars. Like he doesn't need me at all. He's had quadruple the life accomplishment, but like he's a dude just like me. Why would I be scared to reach out? Like why at all? So when people are afraid to reach out, make the phone call, go after it, whatever it is, do that thing, it's like, unless they do it, they just assume that they're not good enough for it.
Yeah.
Because if you're good enough for it, you'll just send the text now to Lewis. You'll just send the DM now. Like you'll go find and shake their hand and be cool and confident and comfortable because you're just like them. They're just like a touch older. You're gonna be that person too. That's why you're watching all the YouTube videos and Instagram. Like you're gonna be right there. Why act like you're not there yet? And then we'll go into it. Now there's an art to like how you reach out to people and like how you network. Fine, that's a different podcast. But like to have the confidence to reach out, it's like I don't think there was ever a decision. It was just like I feel like I'm just as worthy. I have the same value that person has. They're just a little older and done a little bit more than me. Why the hell would I be afraid to like reach out?
Yeah.
Because then if I am afraid, that means I'm like, I literally am saying to myself subconsciously, oh, they're worth more than me. They're better than me. Hell no. Like they're just, it's human to human. We're all equal. Some of them have more stature, connections, money, whatever, but like human to human, we're equal. So I'm going to talk to you like that and not be afraid, you know?
That's so profound and so well said, because often, you know, when people come into a world, they're like, oh, well, they have money and I don't have money. Right. And a lot of the times it's not a money problem. It's a self-worth problem. It's a value problem. It's you understanding that you can bring value into any room that you're in because of who you are, your unique experiences, the stories that you've had, and just when you're interacting with people, and to truly recognize that it runs so deep and it helps people really connect with you even when you're there.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like you got to fake anything. It's just, I can just be here and present with you.
Like, don't tell people you want to like pick their brain, whatever. Like, go make a friend because you are equal to them. Go make a friend. Like the billionaire that you're like nervous to talk around, or like the professional athlete or whatever. It's like, dude, that dude just wears a jersey. He just wears a jersey. Why the hell would you be afraid to talk to that guy? He just wears a jersey.
Yeah.
This guy just has a bunch of money. Like, what does that mean for like being nervous or like scared to reach out or like, oh no, he's above me? It's like, no, your self-worth is different than the amount of knowledge you have. Like I know Jesse has way more experience than me. I know Lewis has way more experience than me. Cool, they can have that. But like value and worth, like, no. Like we have the same inherent value
Well,
and worth.
they'd probably say the same thing,
Yeah. Straight up. Yeah.
right? Like they're not thinking it, so why do we?
No, not at all. I mean, they might have more ego. They might have more like, why do I need to deal with you? They do have, I think, you do have the right to be more picky,
Right.
you know, like with who you talk to, because everyone wants to get to you. So you can probably be more selective. Fine. That's totally fine. But like for like listeners and like just for everybody, dude, like you're so worth it. You're just as worth it as the person who has it. But do you believe that?
Yep.
Do you really believe that? And then the first thing people do when I say that to people is like, yeah, but Mitch, what if, and they go in like these like million different questions of like, yeah, but what if I had this? Yeah, but I'm not, yeah, but I wasn't as tall. I wasn't, yeah, but I was this, I wasn't with this. No. I just like got lucky in that category. You know what I mean? Athletically, very blessed. So like I exceeded like crazy in this category. Like you, Brock, are a straight up genius in some way. Like you have a pure genius that's like the level of all the best athletes and musicians we know. You have that somewhere too. It's already there. You're worthy of every bit of that. It's there. Just go find it. Like if you try to go play in the NBA, yeah, like it probably wouldn't work. Yeah. Sorry, dude. Maybe your jumper is great, but like it just wouldn't work, dude. It would not work. But like your genius somewhere else, that the players who are playing basketball, like they aren't as genius in you in that thing. You know what I'm saying? So go provide so much value in that thing that you'll have what you're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So is that what took you to Flow Haus? Is you felt like that was where you could provide so much value?
Well, I read a book called Start Something That Matters. It was like the second or third book I ever read. And Start Something That Matters by the founder of Tom's Shoes. And I remember reading that book and being like, I actually want to do that. I want to start something that actually matters to the world. Like when people swipe their card to pay for my service or product, I want it to be like such a direct benefit to their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I had always been looking for the following 10 years through football. Like when I start something, I want to end up starting something that really matters. So on that trip in Poland, I told Jesse, Jesse, we need to bring this whole experience back home. And then bring it to the world. Like, let's bring this to people. This Poland Wim Hof experience, breath, meditation, sound bath, sauna, cold, music. Let's bring this back to our people. And we did. And that's Flow Haus. We opened up, this is our 12th full month right now.
Let's go.
It's amazing, dude. It's popped off like crazy. Like it's packed. We have a ton of sellout classes almost every day. And, it's been amazing. But yeah, anyways, the book led me to always looking for something that matters. When I went to Poland, I was like, this matters. This mattered to me. It changed me. I need to make sure I can get this in front of other people so it will matter to them, change their life. So when they're buying a membership, it's not like I'm never worried about like, are people getting enough value out of this? Are people really getting their dollars worth? Hell no. Flow Haus is changing people's lives, dude. You kidding me? I do not worry for a second if we're providing value. Because if you look at our coaches, our guides at Flow Haus, whether it's from the towel ceremony, the mobility classes we offer in the sauna, the community, the fun events, like it so matters. It's changing people's lives, dude. I know it is. They tell me. It's changed my life. And I'm sure it's changed your life.
Oh, seriously, we've had some awesome events.
It's been so much fun. But dude, it's that the start something that matters resonated with me, and then now putting all my life experience together, it's like Flow Haus has become like an appendage of me and what I believe.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And we're having a good time too. It's fun. It's the best.
Yeah, well, the attention to detail is something that I really admire about Flow Haus. That every little detail is thought out and has a meaning and has a function that is creating that value. And so I'm curious, what's the change that you hope to create? Like what specifically, like when someone's coming there and they can come in and experience everything, like the sauna, the cold plunge, the experience, the mobility, what's the change that you see most often happen in there?
Most often happen is, I think, a little bit different than like the deep message that I think people are beginning to understand about Flow Haus. But like what I see most is they walk into Flow Haus like stressed, a little more quiet. Life's chaotic. We see this every time. Like, it's almost like an inside joke. Like, when people come to Flow House, like when they walk in to check into Flow House, it's like one word answers. Hey, how are you? Good. You guys doing good? Yeah. They go into Flow House, they do a session, they come back out and they can't stop talking. They literally can't stop talking. Like, they have to, there's the endorphins, the serotonin, the dopamine, the community, the conversations. When people start a session at Flow House, it's always a little bit quiet. Like, it's almost like people walking into church.
Yeah.
Sitting down, like, am I in the right spot? I don't know. Am I supposed to sit here? Am I supposed to sit over there? They just don't even know, you know? And then they do a Flow House session. By the way, even the people that come every day, like, they come in a different mood than they leave. Then they go to a session, then they leave, and the CEO of this $100 million brand is having an amazing conversation with the college student that's there. Like they don't even know what their positions or roles are in life, and they're like, I feel super good. You feel super good. There's 20 other people here. We're meeting everybody. There's no stature. You're not wearing Gucci and Louis Vuitton while other people are not. Like, everyone's wearing their swim trunks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, what it does to humans, like, is special. And that's what Sauna Cold does to you. But Flow House, even the architecture will do that to you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The aromas, the music, everything will do that to you.
Well, it's so funny. I've said it once and I'll say it again. There's no better networking in Utah than in a sauna.
None.
I have gone to
None.
everything. I've gone to events all over, and there's not a better place to connect with the people you love the most or random strangers, because by the end of it, you're all just sitting in there and you end up chatting about the most random things, and there's no phones, no distractions. You're focused and you're just sitting there present.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the beauties of it, is it just drops you in so fast.
Straight up.
And like, I remember I go to one of Mitch's events, the Flow, what is it? The Sweat and Wisdoms.
Yeah,
I go to
yeah.
one of the Sweat and Wisdoms. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? I'm Brock. And he goes, nice. I go, what do you do for work? You know, we're just chatting. And he's like, oh, CEO of Gab. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I talked to the guy in front of me. He's like, oh, yeah, like founder of Crumble. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, and like Dirty Dough. I met all those guys. And there's more. Every time it's someone new. And
Yeah.
you're just like, what room am I in? And then you just chat and you have a good time. And they're really kind and nice. And it's like, wow, we're friends now. And
Isn't that wild, dude? It's the best, by the way. It's so much fun.
oh, yeah. And it usually gets you in a place where you're like you're saying, like, you're in a mood to talk, and it opens up. Like, I've had people literally come up to me and we're just chatting. He's like, hey, I hear about your business. I want to help. Message me on LinkedIn. Let's connect and let me build your business.
Straight up.
And they'll just say it, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
And
straight up, dude.
and so it's awesome. And I think that's one of the beauties of it, is not just the endorphins and the serotonin, but when you can really get in that state of flow, you're not sitting there worried about everything that doesn't matter. You're just worried about the connections and the people around you, and that's where you start to really be able to find, like, that wholeness, that state talk, that everything that you're coming in, you start there, and then it just branches really fast.
Yeah.
And the sauna is just like a vehicle that makes it so fast.
It's fast, dude. Yeah. It is the social lubricant. It is the confidence booster. Like, humans are so, like, every human on earth is so freaking special and genius in some way.
Yeah.
There's no one that's born less special and less genius in their own way. It does not happen. The media might publicize, like, an NBA game more. And so you hear about LeBron James' genius more than the somebody else. But it could be genius motherhood. It could be genius teacher. It could be absolutely brilliant professor. It's just whether or not they believe that they are that.
Yeah.
And if they did, they would find something to do where they would know inside, like, I'm truly doing something special. That's what I feel about Flow House. That's what I felt, during football. It's like you find that perfect alignment, that balance of passion and energy and commitment. And you're like, this is never, it's insatiable, And I have that feeling right now with Flow House, where it's like, man, no matter how hard the days are, or like how daunting the mountain is in front of us, like, the team is rocking, team is good, team's confident. It's like an insatiable feeling. And that's definitely findable. I found it in football. I didn't find it for a while. And, I found it, especially with Flow House, entrepreneurship in general, but especially with Flow House. Like, dude, It is. We just want it. We want to do so much good, and we are. But there is no human being on the planet that's like not. They're so worth finding their genius. Straight up.
Yeah.
It does take commitment to go find like, what am I genius at? What am I obsessed with? Start with finding what you're literally obsessed with.
Mm.
Like if you're just obsessed with golf, for example, and you're looking for your job and you're not really happy with your profession, just find something in the golf world to do. Equipment, merch, just stay in that. If you're obsessed, if it's truly an obsession, just stay there. Because most people don't even look for their obsession.
Yeah.
They just look for what's most steady, and that's cool too. But most people don't look for their obsession. When you're obsessed with something, you're dangerous, man, in a good way. You're dangerous, boy. So that's what I feel like I found here. I feel like you can tell when people have found it too. I feel like you found it. People that are obsessed, man, they change the world. So why not be there, you know?
Right. That's such good advice, because we limit ourselves to what we think is available or what will work, rather than just really doing what we're obsessed with. And I think that's such amazing advice, and I think that speaks to so many people.
Yeah.
So Mitch, at the end of this podcast, I want to ask you just one more question. If you were talking to that young entrepreneur who's trying to find it, what would you tell him?
What does it mean?
That passion that you're talking about, right? Or that obsession inside of themselves that they're trying to create and build.
It's very good. I'll give a nugget of wisdom that I gave to somebody yesterday, which is, it is a lot easier of a process to learn a ton from people that you think you idolize now. For example, like after I was done playing football, I went and spent a ton of time with Jeremy Andrus at Traeger. And I remember being like, I like the way this guy ticks. I like this a lot. I like the way this guy leads and navigates life. Went and spent time with a different CEO, doing totally different business in a different field. And I remember the feeling was like, that's probably not what I'm going to do after, football's over, Spent time with this entrepreneur, golf with this entrepreneur, and just found out about their business. And it was so easy to just like feel and be able to pick like, what is the path? So I'd feel out these entrepreneurs and they would tell me what's in their mind. And I'm like, I just resonate with you. There's something about you and what you're doing and the lifestyle you live that I want. One of my business partners is one of the largest franchisees of McDonald's in the country. Crushes, dude. Been friends with him for a long time. But that wasn't for me. Like just going that route wasn't for me, but it is for him and it lights him up and they crush. And so I think obsession, I think passion, I think when you just constantly seek for just what fires you up, trial and error. If it doesn't fire you up, like it's just not a life worth living, dude. Like your kids deserve you to be fired up. Like, man, I hope my kids see me like work my tail off. Daddy might have to travel. Daddy might have to work late these nights. But if they see me just like fired up on life, they're okay with sometimes having less hours.
Yeah.
That by the way, that's a fact. Like, it doesn't matter how much time you spend with your kids. This has been studied before. It only matters the quality time that you spend with them. If that's 2 hours a day, with high quality, it's so much better than like 7 hours of like medium quality. So I know that I can sacrifice some things, or my kids might have to sacrifice some time, or I might have some crazy travel and get busy or whatever. But if they see me fired up on life and then fired up to transition that into them, like our family's got a shot, a real good shot,
Yeah.
So find what you're just obsessed with. Like, you might not be LeBron James, you might not be that height, you might not be that size. Find your genius. It is somewhere. There's no one on earth that's born without a genius in something or out of brilliance in something. There's no way. That is not how it works.
Yeah.
It is somewhere. Go find it. Ask for the resources. Shake hands with that person. Don't be afraid to send that DM. Say, I want to come shout at you for a week. I want to come spend time with you for a week, and just feel it out. And then once you find that trigger, that like obsession, oh my gosh, dude, It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Does not feel like work. I don't have to have like this insanely disciplined like morning schedule. I wake up every morning fucking fired up to work on Flow Haus. Fired up. Not a single day has gone by where I've not been fired up.
Yeah.
Not one.
When I believe that's the number one thing a parent can give to a child is passion, love, and joy. We spend so much time trying to get it right and trying to teach them the right ways and do the right things. And we put so much pressure on ourselves as parents. But I believe that the number one thing that a parent can give to their kid is to show them an example of how to enjoy their life, enjoy their marriage, enjoy their spouse, enjoy their kids, enjoy whatever they're doing, and be fired up and passionate about it. When a parent can truly drop into that, that's where your kids can see an example of a life well lived, of something they can aspire for. And it's not about getting it right.
Yeah.
It's about simply enjoying what you're doing and truly being passionate about it. And when that happens, the value that you look to bring, the difference you want to make naturally solves itself because you're going to feel and be different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that
Hell
advice.
yeah.
I think that's amazing.
It's probably just like the most plain Jane advice. Like find what you're passionate about, but it's real, dude. It's freaking real. Find what you're fired up about. And by the way, your self-talk has got to be on point to establish your worth. Once your worth is high, you'll go do high worth things.
Exactly. No, I love
You know
it.
what I mean?
Dude, Mitch, you're the man.
You're the man, dude.
I appreciate you coming on the podcast. There was
course.
so many gold nuggets there.
Was there
and
nuggets there or what?
Oh, so many, man. It's going to
That's
be
good.
awesome. So I appreciate you.
Of course. It's fun, dude.
Everyone, Flow House, we got some events coming up, so stay
Let's
tuned.
go.